Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj. Today we are very fortunate. We have His Grace Sridhar Gaur Bhakta Das Prabhuji from Mayapur, India. I would like to give an introduction about Prabhuji. So, since he has joined first time, I believe, on our everyday chant platform. So, Sridhar Gaur Bhakta Das Prabhuji, he's from India and he has gone to USA in 2008 to do his master's in electrical engineering from Detroit, Michigan. And that this is the place where, like, this is the headquarter of Ford Motor Auto Company. And Prabhuji, when he moved there, he stayed in the campus Chatsworth, which is the guest house of the Ford company. And Prabhuji started preaching at the campus. The first ISKCON temple Prabhuji visited in USA was Fisher Mansion. That is the name of the temple in Detroit, Michigan. And this happened to be, this Fisher Mansion happened to be bought by Ambrish Prabhuji. So then Prabhuji moved to Texas and finished his degree. After that, he met His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, his Gurudev, and at the house of His Grace Sarvajay Madhav Prabhuji. So Sarvajay Madhav Prabhuji, like, he praised Sridhar Gaur Bhaktadas Prabhuji, and in 2015, and then Amrish Prabhu had come for fundraising there, and with Nityanand Prabhu Paduka at the Dallas temple. There he said, like, this devotee, Sridhar Gaur Bhaktadas Prabhu, has crossed him at his house, and he gave the donation of $10,000 US. And when he heard that, Amrish Prabhu is supporting the TOV temple also. So again, there is a connection with Ford. And then Prabhuji moved to Mayapur in 2015. And since then, he has been preaching at Shri Mayapur Dham. He has been preaching at Shri Mayapur International School in various capacity. And then Prabhuji was also helping one of his friend for NEBOSH certification. It's a health certification related to health and safety. And he also got some understanding of risk assessment. And then Prabhuji finished Bhakti Vaibhav degree also recently. And Prabhuji is also a certified Shastra teacher. So with that, after that, Prabhuji, he, with the instruction of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, Prabhuji, I think, I'm not sure if you are in Mayapur right now. Yes. Sorry for, like, interruption in giving the instruction. So, but that was short introduction about Prabhuji, and we would like to welcome Prabhu with three Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Thank you so much,
So,
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
thank you. So
Hare
with that,
Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, you can start the class.
Okay, Prabhuji, before I start, I want to make some corrections in my introduction. I don't know actually what happened. Before the class, one devotee asked me to speak something about myself to introduce. And I was just making one audio video for a project to preach in TOVP, New Temple. So I had made this introduction, but it was not meant on that platform. Anyway, so Prabhuji, just want to correct that. I was actually giving just an interesting relationship that I have with Ford family. That how I went to Detroit for studies, and it happened to be headquarters for Ford company, and the place where I stayed first time used to be Ford guest house. And I was preached on campus. I did not preach on campus. I was preached on campus by Rompa Swami Maharaj when I was studying over there. Maharaj came and his disciples I met. So the first temple I visited in America was Fisherman's Son, and the temple was bought by Amrish Prabhu. Again, he's a great grandson of Ford. And then I was introduced to His Holiness Jayapataka Guru Maharaj by Sarvaja Madhav Prabhu, and that devotee had contributed $10,000 to Amrish Prabhu. So that devotee was praised by Amrish Prabhu, that this Sarvaja Madhav Prabhu had given him few years back. He had gone to his house to give him a check of $10,000 when he heard that Amrish Prabhu is supporting the TOVP temple. So I was just giving this random connection with Ford family, but I'm not very much involved in that. And then I've been not preaching at Mayapur International School. I'm a teacher here at Mayapur International School, Sri Mayapur International School. I've been teaching here since 2015. I teach mathematics and also in various other capacities like event organizer for festivals, Janmashtami, Radhashtami, all those things. And also I'm representative for child protection team here in school, academic head, like that. And I have been meditating on the instruction of His Holiness Jayapataka Guru Maharaj to preach to those people who are coming to Mayapur. Right now in Mayapur, we have pretty much every single day over 30,000 people, sometimes 45, sometimes 65, sometimes 1 lakh even. So he was very much concerned that these people are coming to Mayapur and going back to, without having sufficient, without gaining sufficient understanding of the Lord. So he was in every class practically. He talks about this, that we have to do something about these people. They're coming to Mayapur and they are going back without buying books, without hearing katha of the Lord. They just come and see and go. So I was meditating on his instruction to preach to these people, and I got some idea uh, to preach them in the new temple, TOVP, gather them in a group and then preach to them like that. So this video was meant for that purpose. But anyway, I'm happy to be part of your group, Japa Katha group. This shows the sincerity. It is not easy, especially to be very Krishna conscious in places like America. It's very easy to be Krishna conscious in places like Mayapur because it's all devotees around. Anywhere you go, there are not many places to go, just temple and home. So thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Murlidhar
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Am I right,
Thank
Prabhuji?
you, and apologies for for the introduction.
No
Like,
problem, Prabhuji. It's okay, Prabhuji. It's okay.
Mm.
So, Prabhuji, today we are doing 7th canto, chapter 15, verse number 41 onwards. Right, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so before that, we'll do little kirtan. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine.
Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati
Srimati
Bhakti
Bhakti
Vedanta
Vedanta
Swami Iti
Swami
Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashyatya Deshatarine.
Namaste
Saraswati
Saraswati Devi Gaura
Gaura
Prachari Nirvishesha Shunyavadi
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Prabhu Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
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 Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki
Hare.
Jai.
jai. Prabhuji, I want to share my screen, but uh, it says
Um,
only the host can share the
let
meeting
me try
in this
again.
meeting.
1 minute.
So I want to open that verse 741, 7.15.41.
Can you try, Prabhuji, now? You're a co-host.
Okay, all right. Let me try. Okay, let me try. Okay, so this is the verse number. This is 7:15.41. So I will just read the verse and then we'll do Mangalacharan and then we start the Katha. Aho shariram pratham indriyani hayan abhishun mana indriyesham vartamani matra dishanam cha sutam Sattvam brihad bandhuram isha srishtam. Translation. Transcendentalists who are advanced in knowledge compare the body, which is made by the order of the Supreme Personality Godhead, to a chariot. The senses are like the horses. The mind, the master of the senses, is like the reins. The objects of the senses are the destinations. Intelligence is the chariot driver, and consciousness, which spreads throughout the body, is the cause of bondage in this material world. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Purport. For a bewildered person in the materialistic way of life, the body, the mind, and the senses, which are engaged in sense gratification, are the cause of bondage to repeated birth, death, old age, and disease. But for one who is advanced in spiritual knowledge, the same body, senses, and mind are the cause of liberation. This is confirmed in Katha Upanishad as follows. Atmanam rathinam vidhi, shariram ratham evacha, buddhim tu sarthim vidhi, manah pragraham evacha indriyani payan ahur vishayams teshu gocharan so advanah param apnoti tad vishnu paramam padam. The soul is the occupant of the chariot of the body, of which the driver is the intelligence. The mind is the determination to reach the destination. The senses are the horses, and the sense objects are also included in that activity. Thus, one can reach the destination, Vishnu, who is Paramam Padam, the supreme goal of life. In the conditioned life, the consciousness in the body is the cause of bondage. But the same consciousness, when transformed into Krishna consciousness, becomes a cause for one's returning home back to Godhead. The human body, therefore, may be used in two ways: for going to the darkest regions of ignorance, or for going forward, back home, back to Godhead. To go back to Godhead, the path is Mahat Seva, to accept the realized spiritual master. Mahat Sevam Dwaram Ahur Vimukte. For liberation, one should accept direction of authorized devotees who can actually endow one with perfect knowledge. On the other hand, Tamo Dwaram Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. If one wants to go to the darkest regions of material existence, one may continue to associate with persons who are attached to women. Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. The word Yoshit means woman. Persons who are too materialistic are attached to women. It is said, therefore, Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi Shariram Ratham Evacha. The body is just like a chariot or car in which one may go anywhere. One may drive well, or else one may drive whimsically, in which case it is quite possible that he may have an accident and fall into a ditch. In other words, if one takes directions from the experienced spiritual master, one can go back home, back to Godhead. Otherwise, one may return to the cycle of birth and death. Therefore, Krishna personally advises Ashraddhana Purusha Dharmasyasya Parantapa Aprapya Mam Nivartante Mrityu Sansar Vartamani. Those who are not faithful on the path of devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of foes, but return to birth and death in this material world. The Supreme Personality Godhead, Krishna, personally gives instructions on how one can return home back to Godhead. But if one does not care to listen to his instructions, the result will be that one will never go back to Godhead, but will continue life in this miserable condition of repeated birth and death in material existence. Mrityu Sansar Vartmani. The advice of experienced transcendentalists, therefore, is that the body be fully engaged for achieving the ultimate goal of life, Swarth Gatim. The real interest or goal of life is to return home, back to Godhead. To enable one to fulfill this purpose, there are so many Vedic literatures, including Vedanta Sutra, Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, and Ramayana. One should take lessons from these Vedic literatures and learn how to practice Nivritti Marg. Then one's life will be perfect. The body is important as long as it has consciousness. Without consciousness, the body is merely a lump of matter. Therefore, to return home back to Godhead, one must change his consciousness from material consciousness to Krishna consciousness. One's consciousness is the cause of material bondage, but if this consciousness is purified by Bhakti Yoga, one can then understand the falsity of this, his upadhi, his designations as Indian, American, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, and so on. Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tat paratve nirmalam. One must forget these designations and use this consciousness only for the service of Krishna. Therefore, if one takes advantage of the Krishna consciousness movement, his life is certainly successful. Hare Krishna. Very long purport, but very, very instructive. So we'll just do Mangalacharan, short, quick. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नाम्ने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारने निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारने श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिक कांत राधा कांत
Oh,
नमोस्तुते
ni
कृपां
kami
शुभांगी
kara
राधे
70,
वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते
574
नमामि
kara.
हरि ये
Zara matara.
पंच तत्व कृष्ण भक्त रूप स्वरूपम भक्तावतारम भक्तात्माय भक्तिश्रेष्ठ नित्यानंदम सर्वांतरम परम परिणाम प्रदम देवम दूतमृन नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्ण कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम गोपेश नमः हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय हरे कृष्णा सो if I may request, because I do online classes sometime and I have done it during corona time a lot, but there I knew my audience, and here for the first time I'm seeing all of you. So it'll be very helpful if you can just do a little icebreaker. If you can just say your name and where you are from and what sweet you like. Hare Krishna.
Vinod Maheshwari from Maryland.
And what sweet you like, Prabhuji?
What
What
do
sweet you like? Sweet.
Oh, I actually don't want to eat any sweets now.
Okay.
I've
All
done with
right.
my
Thank you.
sweet quota.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. And SK iPhone. Is it possible to open the camera?
Yes, Prabhuji. I'm Surinder Bhandari from Maryland, and I'd like Rasmalai, Prabhuji.
Rasmalai. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Geeta Nain from
Okay.
Maryland, and I like
Okay.
Mishti Dohi. Mishti Dohi? Yeah.
Mishti Doi. Wow. Bengali sweet. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Next one, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhannu Pranam. This is
Don't pranam, Prabhuji. So your camera is off.
yeah, Prabhu, 1 second. Actually, I'm trying to unlock my screen.
Okay.
Can you see me now? Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhannu Pranam. I'm from Reading,
No problem.
Pennsylvania, USA. And I
Okay.
like this Rasmalai. There's so many.
Rasmalai. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Next one, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Amrita Mani Devi Dasi. I live in Augusta, Georgia. And I am
Mataji,
now.
your camera is off.
Prabhuji, I don't want to put it on, please.
Okay. All right. No problem, Mataji.
Yeah.
What
And
sweet do you like?
I don't take sweets anymore.
Okay. All right. No problem. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes.
Next one, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandar Pranam, or glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Padmi Radha Devi Dasi from Gaithersburg, Maryland. I like to eat amras, Prabhu.
Ambrose. Yeah. Very nice. Hare Krishna. Okay. Next one, please.
Hare
I
Krishna.
see there are 16. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
This is Nitya Radha Devi Dasi. I'm from McLean, Virginia, and I like to eat cakes and rasgulla.
Rasgulla. Cake. Yeah. Thank you. Rasgulla is also my favorite. Thank you.
Why is
Okay.
Prabhuji
Next one, please.
what we like to eat sweet?
Yeah. Your name and your place and what sweet you like. Your camera is off, Mataji. Who is that?
Hare Krishna, Sridhar Gaur Bhakta Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam.
Yes, Prabhuji. Dhanno pranam.
My name is Vamshi Vilas Das, and I'm in Memphis, Tennessee, USA. And my favorite dessert is rasamalai. Thank you.
Rasmalai. Okay. Thank you. Okay, next one, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dharmat Pranam. This is Shamana Sikadevasi from Destin, Florida, but originally from Maryland. And my
Okay.
favorite sweet dish is amras and rasmalai.
Amras and Rasmalai. Okay, you have somebody common there in the group. All right.
We
Okay,
both
next
are
one,
from
please.
Maharashtra, Prabhuji. Me and
Okay, both
Padmini
are from
Radha.
Maharashtra. Okay, I see. I learned one thing in Maharashtra.
And also
In
Modak, Prabhuji. Modak.
Modak,
I know.
okay. I was in Mumbai and I got used to that vada pav.
Yes, Prabhuji. Vada pav is so famous. That's my
Okay,
favorite too.
thank you. Next one, please. Are we done with everyone? Okay, all right. So we'll start our discussion on today's Bhagavatam verse, and we can see it's very instructive. And if you follow the, I'm sorry, if you follow the progression in this chapter, it gradually rises from talking about Brahmanas and ritualistic ceremonies, and gradually it is taking us to pure devotional service. So here, something happened. This thing here stops here. Okay. All right. So in this verse, it is Narad Muni who is instructing Yudhishthira Maharaj about devotional service practically, but he's also giving
Hare Krishna, looks like Prabhuji has got disconnected. Okay, he has joined back again. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Could you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes, we can hear you now. Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, I want to share the screen again. Please allow me to share the screen.
Yeah, I think I made you the host again.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Let me try. Yeah, I can do now.
Hare
So,
Krishna
just
Prabhuji,
want to go back to
before
the.
you start, can we know that what sweet do you like the best and all?
What do I like the best?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I like variety of things, but in general, I like gulab jamun. Thank you. And
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
I'm from Madhya Pradesh, Gwalior. Currently living in
Hare Krishna.
Mayapur. I was in USA, Dallas for 7 years. Then I moved to Mayapur. Okay, so this is the verse under discussion
Hare
right now.
Krishna.
So here we are going through this analogy of body as being the chariot and the intelligence being the driver and the mind being the reins and the senses as being the horses and the destination also. So objects of senses have destination. So here in Mayapur we have this something called Gita Mela. We do in during time of Christmas from 20th December to 1st January. We do Gita Mela here, and we get like practically lakhs of people here during this time. So we put that analogy in a doll form. We make a doll out of it. We show how the soul is sitting in the chariot of the body, how the intelligence is the driver, and how the mind is the reins that connect the driver with the horses, and how the horses, the five horses, the five senses, eyes, nose, ears, like that five senses, they are the five horses and then objects of senses. Object of senses means for eyes, the sight seeing is the object senses. The seeing is the object senses. We want to see beautiful things. We want to see beautiful whatever, nature, movies, so many things. Because the eyes appreciate the beauty. The nose want to smell good things. Ears want to hear good music. Like that. So, in fact, I heard recently that the video games, they are making it more and more. They want to include more and more senses in the video game to make it more appealing. They want to introduce something called uh, the screen will emit like some smell also of the environment. So the more senses are engaged, then it becomes more appealing. So it is important for us to check our senses, where our senses are going. In Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada has designed the society in such a manner that all the five senses are engaged. We go to temple, we see the deity, eyes are engaged. Going to a temple, our body limbs are engaged. We smell the flower, our nose is engaged. We hear beautiful kirtan, our ears are engaged. We also glorify the Lord, our tongue is engaged. We taste Krishna Prasad, our tongue is engaged. So, by engaging the senses in Krishna service more and more, we become more and more devotional. अतः श्री कृष्ण नामादि न भवेद ग्राह्यम इंद्रिय सेवन मुखे ही जिह्वादो स्वयं एव स्फूर्ति अदः. It's a verse. It says that अतः श्री कृष्ण नामादि न भवेद ग्राह्यम इंद्रिय. By the blunt material senses, it is very difficult to see the Lord. But sevan mukhe hi jihvado, by engaging the senses, starting with the tongue, when we eat Krishna Prasad and so on, then swam eva spurti adah, automatically Lord is revealed to us. Srila Prabhupada said that when he was in California, the temple, Rukmini Dwarkadish on Varsika Avenue, the deity spoke to him. The deity told him to go and preach in India. So when we come to a stage where our all the senses are engaged in Krishna's service, then the so-called, as the people say, is just an idol. Then that will become ideal. It will speak to us. So it is very important that we, using the intelligence, we control the mind. Because mind is a what we call that, the storehouse of thoughts, not from just this life, but many lifetimes. One devotee, he gave the example that nowadays how on Google we search something, I put something on the Google, just one word, and then down it gives many options. Similarly, the mind is like that. As soon as it sees something, one sense is engaged in something, immediately it gives a plethora of options to do. So here this verse is basically talking about the previous verse is how Narad Muni talking about the yogi who is controlling his mind and senses using Hatha Yoga, all those things. But Srila Prabhupada, it's beauty of Srila Prabhupada that even though they are talking about just Hatha Yoga, but to basically safeguard us from going to this direction, he immediately contrasted with the difficulties of Hatha Yoga. So although Hatha Yoga is a Vedic, it's a bona fide process. In fact, I met some devotees, not the devotees, some people in USA only, because I used to work and I used to put tilaka on my forehead. One time I heard his Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur Maharaj. I heard one quote from him, which says that Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, he will consider his movement successful. Krishna conscious movement started by him. He will consider it as successful when he sees the judges in the courthouse wearing Vaishnav tilak and giving out judgments. When I heard it, I felt like I should not be, not feel, shy to put tilak and not feel something else. The boss may say that why are you putting tilak. And my boss, I was working under a Muslim boss, and still, to my surprise, he didn't say anything. He appreciated actually. So when I was wearing tilka and I would go for my work, and people would meet me and they would see tilka on my head, and they would automatically start sharing with me like what they are doing. So some of them would say that I am doing Hatha Yoga. Some of them would say different things. Some of them would ask me questions. So it was a good preaching platform also. At the same time, I was happy to be following Bhakti Maharaj. So these processes are there, but it is very difficult, especially in this age of Kali, to follow them properly. Very, very difficult to find a solitary place, sit, your back erect and focusing on your nose. So many things are there, and there are you cannot do any time. That is also there. But the Naam Kirtan, the chanting of the holy name, has so much potency that you can do in any condition. There is a story in Ramayana where Hanumanji, Bajrangbali, one time he was passing by some forest and he saw one man saying Ram Ram while passing a stool in an open field. And Hanumanji got very angry on him. He actually slapped him. So when Lord Hanuman went to see Lord Ram, he saw Lord Ram's face having 5 fingers. So he asked Lord Ram, who has done this to you? What happened? And he got very angry that his master is having this thing on his face. Lord Ram told him that this is the same slap that you did to my devotee. And then Hanumanji said that he was chanting your name in a very inauspicious condition. And Lord Ram said that for chanting the holy name, my name, there is no condition. It is so auspicious, it can be chanted in any condition. So these things are not there in other practices. Other practices require so many rules and regulations. But chanting the holy name, there is no rules regulation. You can chant. There are people I know who chant even dream like. There was one devotee, he was saying that whenever his father would take it while sleeping, just would take turns from left to right, right to left. The people do when they are sleeping, they just turn from here to one side to the other side. Every turn he would say one shloka of Gita. he had memorized Gita so nicely, and he was so much absorbed in that. And similarly, I have heard like some Prabhupada disciples who are very renowned. They are gurus and they are servants. Some of them, they require servants even during night because they have health issues. So servants, they share that the Guru Maharaj, their Guru, even the sleep, they are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So it's very easy to chant, but at the same time, we also have to be careful that this condition can be obtained only and only when we are engaged in devotional service, as given by Srila Prabhupada. It is not that Srila Prabhupada is giving something different, but he has given in such a manner that it's easy for us to practice. So he says Bhagavad Gita as it is, and we say Srila Prabhupada as it is. So we follow Srila Prabhupada's instructions as it is, then we will be able to reach that condition where 24 hours we are able to chant the holy name. My wife, she used to tell me when she got married to me that her father, he has a practice that he chants the holy name with the breath, with every breath he takes, like that. So he has सांसों में बसा लिया है नाम को, ऐसे करके she used to say like that. So it becomes actually easy. There are instances where some doctor was checking the one patient, and then when he put that stethoscope on his heart, he was hearing the Hare Krishna mantra. So every limb of the body can also do this, not just the tongue. I know personally one devotee here, Prabhupada disciple. He is very old, 86 years old. He lives in Mayapur. He made this in Mayapur Prabhupada Samadhi, Push Samadhi. It has a Prabhupada Murti, just like in Vrindavan, Prabhupada has a Murti on his Samadhi. He made this Murti. So I take him for the morning walks in the morning. And I noticed when I hold him, because it's difficult for him to walk without support. So I just grab him by the arm and I go with him. And I noticed that as soon as I grab him by the arm, immediately I start chanting Hare Krishna mantra in my mind, because his body has so much influence on me, because his whole body is practically chanting. So by his presence, by his touch, it helps me also. So all these things are possible only. And one thing I noticed that Prabhupada disciples, you talk to them, they have one thing very, very common. And in Mayapur, I've seen many Prabhupada disciples. It's the beauty of Mayapur that you get to hear from many realized souls. You get to meet many realized souls and many Prabhupada disciples, especially for the temple opening, and they come. I have heard like still there are over 2,000 Prabhupada disciples on this planet. One thing is very common, their dedication to Srila Prabhupada. They will talk less about Krishna, more about Prabhupada. so much so dedication. They are so much dedicated, because even though they met Prabhupada very briefly, some of them even just saw Prabhupada, but that glance, that meeting transformed their lives completely. And their loyalty to Srila Prabhupada, even though some of them have done things which are not to be, quoted as ideal examples. Some of them got married, divorced, again marriage, divorce, again marriage, or taken to material life, and then again coming back to Krishna consciousness movement. So many things. But one thing that kept them alive is their connection with Srila Prabhupada. I know one devotee, he's getting married, he's Prabhupada disciple, he's getting married 7th time, he's getting married. But it's because they're bringing up. They are chanting 16 rounds, but still there are baggage that are still needs to be cleared off. So it happens. It happens even among devotees that even after taking up Krishna consciousness, we we are still hanging on to things which we should not hang on to. Even though we are chanting 16 rounds, we are attending Mangala Aarti, but still, Maya is so strong that still it can take away the intelligence of a sober person. But even with that, whatever happens, slight deviation or deviation, whatever happens, chanting the holy name will again bring us back to our constitutional position of chanting the holy name all the time by following the order of Guru. Here in the purport, Prabhupada mentions that sense gratification are the cause of bondage of repeated birth and death. So sense gratification is normally what happens generally. It may be just me, but generally what happens, we look at the karmi people outside and we disgust with them, which is not bad, but we forget that we are also in one way or other not different from them in sense gratification. Pure bhakti is when we have other desires other than serving Krishna. Any desire that is not serving Krishna is material desire, and we can see in our own life how many times we succumb every day. Since the advent of this iPhone, it has made life even more difficult for us. How many times we end up watching YouTube and getting carried away by the shorts, or watching movies, or watching things which are not helpful in our advancement of Krishna consciousness. So unless these things are cleared off, we have to be careful. We cannot live in the hallucination that since I am chanting 16 rounds, my journey go back to Godhead is sure shot. It's true only, it's given by Srila Prabhupada, the minimum 16 rounds, but at the same time, we have to think what comes in mind, what is going to come at the end of life is based on what predominates our mind, what predominates our desires. There is one devotee who was sharing that he had an accident and he was thinking of his wife. Like that, we can also practically see in our daily life what we think of when we are in danger. Do we think of our money? Many people, they have accumulated a lot of wealth, thinking that by having a lot of wealth, I will be just practicing Krishna consciousness very easily. But the wealth also has disadvantages. When the wealth comes, it also brings the insecurity of losing the wealth, and that predominates the mind. That's a dominating factor in the mind, that security of the wealth. So instead of having meditation on Krishna, our meditation is on how to secure wealth. We tend to become insecure, but in our relationship with people also, thinking that this person is meeting me because he's interested in my money. In America, there's these two lotteries, Powerball and Mega Million. They're very famous. And one time, one journalist, he tried to follow the people who won the lottery. And he found that the first thing the people do when they win the lottery is divorce their wife. That's the first thing they do. They want to enjoy the wealth just by themselves. And second thing they do is they'll find a place in some very remote, isolated place, some mountains, and they live there. And what they're doing, they are watching movies, they are drinking alcohol, and doing all sort of nonsense. So they end up losing their health also. This is the result of winning a lottery. You have no relationship, you lost your wealth, and you lost your health, and gradually you're also going to lose your wealth. So thinking that wealth will help us, we have to be really cautious also. Because a lot of even a lot of devotees have American dream. That I was one of those. I was not devotee that time, but I pursued that dream. But that dream got over by the chastisement of pure devotees. But it does not mean that we should leaving American dream does not mean leaving America. I was, in my case, was different, but leaving American dream means leaving the promises that America gives. That's the living American way. uh, Change. We don't have to change our place to be Krishna conscious. We have to change our consciousness to be Krishna conscious. Of course, the place is so filthy, we have to leave, but generally, changing the consciousness, not the place, is the key. In our dealings, in our relationship, in our activities, we have to make sure that Krishna is in the center. Prabhupada says that a Krishna conscious person is the ideal husband, is the ideal brother, ideal, but is the ideal sister, mother. Every relationship is ideal because there is no greed in the relationship. There is no business that normally people have. A husband, wife, they are living together, serving Krishna. Dharam, like the relationship name is also Dharam Patni. The relationship is based on dharma only. The father is upbringing his kids, to give them Krishna consciousness. So he's doing best for him. He's the ideal father. There is one shloka in Bhagavatam which says that one should not become a guardian, one should not become a father, mother, husband, relative, if that person cannot deliver his dependent from the clutches of birth and death. So it's very important that the consciousness that we have is applied where? Uh, Here Prabhupada says that for one who is advanced in spiritual knowledge, the same body, the same sense, the mind are the cause of liberation. When we take the body and the mind and senses in the service of Krishna, then the same body, mind, and senses they become spiritual. The mind is spiritualized, the senses are spiritualized. The mind is spiritualized means that mind will think of how to serve Krishna. If the mind is not spiritualized, it will think of how to do sense gratification. Here, Prabhupada says that Prabhupada said that to go back to Godhead, the path is Mahat Seva, to accept the self-realized spiritual master. Mahat Sevam Dwaram Ahur Vimuktes. This is the shloka is from the teachings of Rishabdev to his sons. Rishabdev is the one who later left the world and he would live naked. And the Jain religion later on, which is a perverted reflection of that teachings, is founded on his principles. So he was teaching his 100 sons. Mahat Sevam Dwaram Ahur Vimukte. For liberation, one should accept direction of authorized devotees who can actually endow one with perfect knowledge. On the other hand, Tamo Dwaram, Tamo means darkness, Yoshtam Sangi Sangam. So those who associate with people who are after woman and wine, they will go back to Tamo Dwaram, dark region of hell. So Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, you were not audible for 10 seconds, but now you are. No.
Okay. All right. So we were discussing that Tamodwaram Yoshadam Sangi Sangam. Those who are too much materialistic, when one associate with those people who are too much materialistic, then we also get those propensities. Then it's called Tamodwaram, associating people who will take you to the darkest region of hell. And Mahat Sevam Dwaram Ahavim, when you associating with sadhu means hearing, following their instructions. That's association. Association does not mean physically associating with them. Prabhupada says that the bad bug is also associating with people, but is causing harm. It's physical association. Actual association is hearing the instruction and imbibing the instruction, cultivating them and applying in our life. That is the actual association of a sadhu. So that will lead us, take us back to home, back to Godhead. So with this, Prabhuji, I think it's time for the class to get over, or I'm leaving the floor for the questions. If we have any questions or reflections that you want to share, we can discuss. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanva Pranam, all below Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for giving the very nectarine class. I would like to request devotees to ask any questions they have.
Or any realization they want to share, they can share that also.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Geeta. Thank you so much for this wonderful class and very, enlightening, I must say. I wanted to ask you, you said that a lot of devotees actually had a lot of reverence for Srila Prabhupada, in fact, more than Lord Krishna. So if I can ask you, what is the reason? More than the Lord.
I tell you one thing. One time, Prabhupada, he was sick in America, and he was practically on the bed, and the devotees were helping him even just to, do bodily cleaning. That time he said that, he just said to the devotees that, I have not seen Krishna, but I have seen my Guru, and I have full faith in my Guru. So it's the physical association that people had, and also the transformation they have in their lives by following Srila Prabhupada's instructions. So it's very natural that they say like this or speak like this. It is not that they are saying that they are not Krishna conscious. It is a way of saying that they are into Krishna consciousness because Prabhupada's mercy. It is not a negative statement. It is a way of saying that. Just like one devotee, I'll give you one example, a remote example, not exactly to the point, but one of the gopis in Vrindavan says that, or one devotee, he said that, oh Krishna, how great you are! Let me see how great you are. If you are so great, take yourself out of my heart. So he's not, fighting with Krishna. It's just a way of expressing his love. So they are Prabhupada disciples also. They express their love for Krishna through Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, Sudhana Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhuji.
Such a nice class, emphasizing on subtleties in Krishna consciousness, which even if we are practicing bhakti, sadhana bhakti, can trap us. You said rightly that yes, we look for wealth to peacefully do Krishna consciousness, so that Krishna says, Ma Manusmara Yuddha Cha. Jivan, that life is Yuddha. I mean,
Yes.
so actually peacefulness or this kind of things will not happen. Yeah, I'm just reflecting as I'm speaking that
Yes, Prabhuji.
so Arjuna also wanted to go back and do peaceful, but he is Mahamanusma Yuddha. He's like that because if he, and you said correctly that Kanchan, Kamini and Kirti is always chasing here and always lurking around. Some little bit of wealth is there, and then Kanchan will come, and immediately Kamini will come, and immediately Kirti will come. So all these Maya sequences are there. So there's no way that wealth will get us more Krishna consciousness, peaceful Krishna consciousness, because it will be another trap. So yeah, I mean.
Yes, Prabhuji. In Hindi, they were saying, "जो प्राप्त है वही पर्याप्त है." Whatever we have right now is enough for us to execute our devotional service very honestly and without any material motivation. It's enough for us. Whatever we have, we're not in a condition where we are basically hungry because we don't have food to eat. Everybody, Krishna has provided food for everyone, for ants, for elephants, for everyone.
Yeah.
Today, you won't believe, Prabhuji, in India, yesterday, there was one shocking incident. One family of 7 people, 3 generations, grandfather, grandmother, husband, wife, and 3 children, they all drank poison and committed suicide in a car. It happened in Haryana. And the reason was they were in debt, 20 crore debt. So that they were in a luxurious car, but they were in debt. So thinking that by only poor people are not having, sleepless nights or having sleepless nights is it's not like that. Even rich people, because for them, जो प्राप्त है वो पर्याप्त नहीं है. Whatever they have is not sufficient. They want to earn more. Then they end up going to situations like this. So for us to execute Krishna consciousness, like, it's not a tough job. It's just our consciousness. We have to fix our consciousness that whatever condition I am in right now is ideal for me. This is the ideal condition for me right now. Whatever condition I am right now, whether I am old, I'm having, body is not functioning properly, or whether I am young, earning money, whatever condition where I'm right now, this is the ideal condition for me. Right now, this is the moment to do pure devotional service, not tomorrow or next moment. Right now, this is the moment. That consciousness will help us.
Yeah. But even this accumulating wealth, this Krishna says in chapter 16, Bhavishyati Punardhanam, Aso Hatasutsu, and in that continuation, he says, Chintama Parimayamte Puranta Upas, because they have a greed to earn and they're not able to. Of course, the greed is like a burning fire. The more you put fuel to the fire, more it burns. So it never gets satiated. So and then he says, I mean, Chinta. So he always having Chinta. That incident you narrated, the debt and means full of Chinta. Though they're wealthy, but full of Chinta. What is the use of sleeping on a cushy bed, but not able to sleep? Whereas a Krishna conscious person, a self-satisfied person, even if he doesn't have a cushy bed, he may be having good night's sleep.
Yes. Satisfaction. I mean, we have to learn that art. That whatever I have right now, it is not easy to have that art, learn that art. But gradually, we learn by the mercy of pure devotees that whatever we have right now is enough for us. We don't have to worry about anything. Krishna will provide. In fact, you won't believe, Prabhuji, but I have come across this statement. I don't remember where, but it says that Brahmana Daridra Priti, those who are Brahmana, they like to be poor. They don't like wealth because they see that In fact, the first class Brahman, he saves only for one day. And the third class Brahman, he stores for 1 year. The first class Brahman, he stores only for one day, till the night. He has food only till night, and he sees that tomorrow food is coming again. That increases his faith in Lord. That he sees every day. He is getting food every day without endeavor. So Brahmans, they like to be poor. They don't like wealth. So I'm not saying that we have to become poor. It just meaning is that we don't have to, use our hard labor to make plans to earn money. Prabhupada says that use that to cultivate Krishna consciousness. One should not embark on any plans that will take so much of your energy. Use that energy in Krishna consciousness. People have wealth, they can utilize that wealth in Krishna consciousness, just like Amrish Prabhu, he's utilizing his wealth in Krishna consciousness. It does not mean that he has to become poor to be Krishna conscious. Whatever he has, he is utilizing Krishna consciousness. But one should not endeavor hard to become rich. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, the first class Brahmin, because he surrendered totally, that's why the food kept coming also, right?
Yes, Mataji, yes. There's an instruction of, there's an incident of Nagari, the hunter. And Nagari, he would kill the animal, half kill the animal and see them in pain. And then Narad Muni told him that you will have to suffer the same pain. And because Narad Muni was a pure devotee, when he said a simple thing, it hit him. He realized that. And then he said, okay, I want to give up this business. What should I do? Narad Muni said, first break your bow that for killing animals. He said, then how will I survive? This is my business basically. Manu said that you just do pure devotion service and the food will come automatically. So he followed him. He broke his bow and then started chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra or whatever mantra Narmani gave him. And then the news spread all around that this Mragari, who was so much, sinful, he has become a devotee. And the culture was that in India, in some place even now, that when people would go to visit a saintly person, they would take rice, fruits, dals and to gift. So immediately these things started to pile up, food and everything. Same with the story of that prostitute who came to lure Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur told her the same thing. You first, distribute all your wealth. She was very rich. She was called Lucky Hira. Her name was Hira. She would charge 1 lakh gold coins for one night. She was called Lucky, 1 lakh. Lucky Hira. She was, and Haridas Thakur told her, just distribute all your wealth to Brahmanas and then come to me. And she did that. And same thing with her. The news spread. She was a prostitute. She became a devotee, and people would come to visit her. They will bring her food. So similarly, the first class Brahmana is not that it's a consciousness, Mataji. It's a chetana. It's a consciousness of first class Brahmana. It is not the body. It's a consciousness. We all are first. We can all become first class Brahmana by giving this hankering for wealth, puja, man, pratishtha, profit, admiration, distinction. On the gross level, it is the wealth. Subtle level is the puja and man, profit, admiration, and distinction. These are subtle level, but we are hankering for these things. So, but when we don't hanker for wealth and we still see that our things are taken care by Krishna nicely. Prabhupada gives the example of a company. In the company, the advertising department never runs out of money because the company is based on, unless they advertise the company, how will the company will run? So that department always has sufficient money. Similarly, we are advertising Krishna. Will have sufficient money. We will not be poor. So we don't have to worry about this.
Yeah, that's a good example. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
You're welcome.
Hare Krishna
Okay.
Prabhuji, Dandat
Yes,
Pranam,
Prabhuji. Yes,
all
Prabhuji.
glories
One
to
Srivas
Srila
Prabhuji.
Prabhupada. Prabhuji,
Yes,
my
Prabhuji.
question
Yes,
is,
Shabbat. Yes.
how can we not get stuck in the material consciousness even while practicing? You mentioned that there are many fall downs, even though they were practicing for many years. So, what are practical ways to guard ourselves from falling down?
Okay, Prabhuji. In this regard, I want to share one of the teachings of Devan Prabhupada disciple. He is also Guru. He's from Israel. I forgot his name. So he said that he was posted in, I think, some place, and but he was not doing morning program over there. And Prabhupada visited him, and Prabhupada chastised him, "Why you're not following me properly?" Then he shared that I was thinking that I was following Prabhupada in my mind, but actually I was not. I was following imaginary Prabhupada. That okay, whatever I'm doing, Prabhupada is accepting. I'm following Prabhupada. So that in our devotee community also we have this, that we are following Prabhupada, but somewhere we have to think which Prabhupada we are following. Are we following Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, or the Prabhupada that we have concocted in our imagination? That is also there. So following Prabhupada means whatever Prabhupada has given, some instruction he has given common to all, that one should chant minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. One should wake up early in the morning. If he lives close to temple, he should go for Mangala Arati. Otherwise, he can do Mangala Arati at home. If he is not able to do even Mangala Arati at home, he can do Darshana Arati at home. Some Arati at home with the family, if it is possible, or alone. Hearing Katha every day. That's very important, because devotee association is very important. Without bhakti, bhakton ke saath hi hoti hai. Without devotee association, we are very much prone to material temptations. So these things, basic minimum things, hearing katha every day, chanting our rounds every day, and uh, there are some other things, like for example, in the Shad Goswami Ashtakam, Nidrahar Viharasya. So there they mention that the Goswamis, they would Sankhya Purvak Nam. Prabhupada has given us Sankhya Purvak, means name with numbers, 16 rounds. It's a number basically. It's a 1700, over 25,000 names of the Lord. So in Kali Yuga, Sankhya Purvak Naam and Sankhya Purvak song also. Prabhupada has given us Tulsi Aarti song, Mangala Aarti song, Darshana Aarti song, Narsimha song. So Sankhya Purvak, we have to do minimum of some songs every day. That's why Prabhupada, he did not explicitly said these things, but the program he gave, it encompasses all those things without our knowledge. Sankhya Purvak Naam, Sankhya Purvak songs, and Sankhya Purvak obeisances. That is also there. Nata Goswami, he used to do like, I had 1,000 or 2,000 obeisances every day to Govardhan. So Prabhupada, in our his movement, he also incorporated these obeisances also in the program itself. After Mangala Arati, we do obeisances. When we see the DT, we do obeisances. When we see some senior devotee, we do obeisances. So we have to be cautious whether we are following these things or not. Of course, we should not become mechanical, but these things are also there. By doing these things, Nidra, Har, Viharasya. Vihar means all these 6 material things, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsya. These will go away gradually. So we have to be careful. It's very difficult. I have experience of it to be Krishna conscious and follow Prabhupada in America. But with devotee association is possible. And I'm very, very happy to see how you guys are coming together in the morning and hearing Katha. It's very wonderful way of being Krishna conscious, Prabhuji. Reading Prabhupada books every day. It's very important to read Prabhupada books. And if possible, hear his lecture. You can hear lecture while cooking, doing certain things. Prabhupada's lectures are very easy to follow, very easy to follow. But hearing, Prabhupada said, best of me is in my books. So if we can have that habit of hearing, reading some verses per every day, one or two, whatever makes us comfortable, but that Prabhupada's words should go in our ears. So, because Prabhupada, he said that these books are not written by him. It's a Krishna's dictation. He just simply compiled them, but it's not his words. No author hears his own book. Prabhupada would hear his own book. One of his devotee, one of his servant or disciple would read to him his own books.
So, Prabhuji, what made you go back to India? I know spirituality is more, at a higher level and easier in India. That's true.
It's not that much that easy in India. It's not that much. Like I said, mostly the consciousness, but some places have Rajogun more higher. Like the Western countries are filled with Rajogun. Some places don't have that much. But again, if we are, unless we are living in a very filthy place, like working in a slaughterhouse or some other things, it's possible to do total service. It's not that we have to come to Mayapur only, but it always helps. Like Prabhupada said that come to Mayapur and charge your batteries once a year. He said like to leaders actually. He said that come to Mayapur and charge your batteries and then go back and preach. So it's a good to have once a while visit to the holy places. It helps a lot.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, shall we conclude, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. There were wonderful questions and answers by devotees. So Prabhuji, like you said, Sankhya Purvak, like what is it recommended for the devotee for the prayers or arti, like something one should do every day. One of you mentioned like Tulsi Arti, and could be another one is a Guru Puja. What is the
Yes,
recommendation for
so
the
Mangalarti, Prabhupada wanted his leaders and his devotees to do Mangalarti for sure. So Mangalarti, it has Guru song, it has Narsimha song, it has Hare Krishna mantra, it has Tulsi Arati. And if you can do also, like some devotees, what they do Mangalarti and Guru Arati together. They do after Mangalarti, just simply chant Prabhupada, this Guru mantra, Prabhupada Guru Puja also. So basically, Sankhya Purvak means we have to be fixed. Prabhupada said that if you are not able to do any arati, you should attend Guru Puja. That's what he wanted. Minimum Guru Puja should be done. That we cannot omit. So best is that Prabhupada gave a program that you, let's say 5 hour program actually, 4 to 9. You wake up in the morning 4 a.m., get ready, attend Mangalarati 4:30 to 5:15, whatever time, chant your rounds, and then Darshanarti, then Bhagvatam class 9. So it's basically 4.5 hour program to recharge your batteries. But I noticed after getting married, it was difficult for me to follow this. But so I did whatever I could with the feeling of bad feeling in the heart that I'm not able to follow properly. But gradually, by Lord's grace, I have 2 kids now. They are not very, and they are still young. One of them is 2 years old. But still, I'm able to go to Mangalarti and do my rounds in the morning and hear Bhagavatam Katha. If I'm not able to hear in the temple, then I hear at home. And you won't believe how I do it, but I do it. Like washing dishes, I hear Bhagavatam class, try to help out my wife, or getting ready, I hear Prabhupada Katha. Like that, somehow or other, in the evening, somehow I find the time from the kids to hear at least, try to do at least one verse. Or best I found for myself was doing these courses like Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav. I finished my Bhakti Vaibhav and the schedule was very hectic for me. I would teach 7:30 in the morning, and then in between I would do Bhakti Vaibhav 3 hours a day, and again teach. And by the time I would skip my lunch also and do my lunch like 3 p.m. like that. So, but it helped me a lot. So like that nowadays it's very easy. There are online courses. Mayapur Institute is offering online courses. Other Mumbai Vidyapit also offering online courses. Very easy to do online. And the thing is that they give us opportunity to read Prabhupada books. That is the best thing to do. They force us to read Prabhupada books. And I noticed that the more we are in connection with Prabhupada books, the more Krishna conscious we are. As simple as that. It's very, very, because Prabhupada personally speaks to us through his books. In lectures, you will find there are certain lectures which are more condition specific, but his books, they are for everyone. They are not time specific. They are for everyone. It's very, very helpful. Somehow or other, we have to find 10 minutes, 15 minutes to read every day. His Holiness Jabrafai Maharaj, he is my also master. Every day he has one app and he sends his daily activities. And one of the activities that he does every day, he reads Prabhupada books for 40 minutes, 30 minutes every single day, even when he's super sick. For 10 minutes he would read. Right now he's sick for past 3 days. Still he reads. He writes on the app. Today, this devotee read to me Prabhupada book for 10 minutes. Normally 3 minutes. And that he has been doing for many years. And he finished his Bhakti Vedanta also, is doing his Bhakti Sarvabhauma. So it's a wonderful way to remain Krishna conscious through Prabhupada books. Prabhupada wanted his books to be read many, many times, not just one time, many, many times. And the whole movement practically, like there are 4 pillars: purity is the force, utility is the principle, books are the basis. Books are the basis actually of our whole movement. Prabhupada is there in the books, physically present. So it's important to read Prabhupada books every day. Of course, other things are also there, but that one thing will bring other thing also. That Prabhupada will say in the book, do this, and then we will feel a change in consciousness. We want to do that out of our own way. We want to go out of our own way to do it. And then gradually it helps. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for this so much. Any other question?
Thank you so much. Yes, Prabhuji. Anybody has question? I'm still available. I'm not in hurry. This is the beauty in Mayapur. You are never in hurry. Plenty of time.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your class, Prabhuji. We can end this call by saying Pranam mantra, the Vaishnava mantra.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha nam parnebhyo vaishnava antikoti vaishnava bhakti Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji ki jai. Bhagvatam ki
Mataji
jai.
ki jai. Vaishnava Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
His Grace Sridhar Gaura
Hare
Bhakti
Krishna.
Prabhu ki jai.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Mataji ki jai. Vaishnava Bhakti Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Please come again whenever you have time. We will schedule
Sure,
you again.
Mataji. Right now it's my school holiday, so I'm not very busy. I can come anytime you want. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.